So let me introduce you Sara Gomes. She was caught by surprise, but as you could see here at the VCW, everything is caught by surprise. She's going to tell you a bit about that book chapter and why that book chapter is there and why she's the executive director today of the VCW Lab at Nova. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Luis. Indeed, I was going to speak tomorrow. I was not ready for this moment. But yes, so I met Luis in 2018 when I was doing my master thesis here at Nova. And at that time, well, I had to choose a field for my master thesis, and I heard about the Value Creation Wheel Lab and the methodology that would help solve complex challenges. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. So Luis told me that he was in touch with this company, which is called Deimos, where we have, for instance, Sergio that will work there with me as well. And it's a Portuguese space engineering company, and they were leading a consortium of 27 partners to bring a technology. They received the funding of 10 million euros from the EC. And this consortium was mainly technological. And they were all trying to bring their expertise in terms of technical, so tech push. And they came with a challenge that was, okay, how can we bring this technology to the market? And that's how the value creation wheel came in place. And it was very useful at the time because when I started interviewing the different stakeholders involved, and I talked with each one of them, and I asked, okay, what is the technology that you are bringing to the market? And everyone was giving me a different answer. And I was, oh, okay. So how are we going to bring, to make a strategy if we are not even aligned on what is the value proposition, what we are bringing to the market? So the first iteration was to implement the value creation wheel, the VCW, to align all the 27 stakeholders on the value proposition. And then we applied time to then define a target market and to reach that target market. So it was very interesting. The partners involved loved it, the stakeholders, everyone agreed with the final results, and they were implemented during the master thesis. We already saw the outcome being implemented. And yes, it was a great project. Then I joined this company. I worked there for 5 years. The company worked in, for instance, the Next Ocean and Nextland, which is the project that allowed the funding for the books that you have in your tables, with many case studies in Deimos, but also other organizations, showcasing how we have been using the value creation wheel in organizations to solve complex challenge, innovate, and take decisions. So that's how it all started.
Thank you, Sara.
And
Sara, I think Sara did not mention the most interesting part from my side. Basically, Sara decided to take a sabbatical after Deimos. She decided to spend 2 years in Australia. When she came from Australia, she called me, "How are you, professor?" I asked her, "What have you been doing?" and said, "I'm looking for a job." I said, "You are hired." So it was the shortest conversation I had in my life. It was basically 10 seconds. Then we met at the Web Summit, so it's quite recent, as you know. And since then, she has been the executive director of the VCW Lab. So I've been looking for executive director for more than a decade. And finally, I found the executive director. So this tells you how good Sara is, okay?
thank you.
Because it's not easy, it's not simple to please me, as Carmen knows that very well. Okay, so moving on. Thank you, Sara.
Thank you.